Right, bear with me. It's been a while, and I will take the L on that one. I've been stupid, dumb, busy. Um, but I have actually kind of sort of made some progress on cosplay things while I've been gone, but not to an extent that anyone's missed anything. It's just I've been doing some fairly extensive research, which I'm about to explain. So, stick that sucker on. Okay. Also, fairly cold, so my fingers aren't working super well. And I went out to the gym, came back, ate something, and then jumped into this. So I'm stood out here in my gym shorts and Dragon Ball socks. So I've brought this onto myself, and I'll accept that. But I am back to go over some fairly exciting stuff here. So last I left off, I was kind of brainstorming around how I might approach making this sword, right? And I was just kind of spitballing and going over going over the possibilities, right? So during that time, I'd actually also been discussing it with a workmate, and she'd said actually her husband was an aerospace engineer and has been building hot rods for longer than I've existed and has a lot of experience with fiberglass and various. So she'd said, yo, if she didn't say yo, but she'd said, look, if you wanted to come over and have a nose around the workshop and talk with him and get some ideas around how to approach some things, then go for it. So I kind of lost my mind a little bit and obviously said, yeah, that's insane. Absolutely. And yeah, so that's where I went. I went over to see her and her husband and spent a few hours in this workshop while he talked me through how he would approach this sword specifically. And I have a billion notes. Um, I've also got a load of stuff he'd sent to me in emails. So I had a quick look through that for any personal info, and there's nothing in there, and if there was, I've removed it. So I've got all of that in a Word document, and I'm going to go through that, pick things apart, and basically transfer that info over to my existing document that I've got on here, and then more or less just kind of sort of follow his plan because it's nuts and I love it. And it's one of those like when my workmate was explaining things to me, she'd said, this is all pretty complicated and it's all, it's going to take a while. I don't know if it's suitable. And I'd said, that sounds exactly like my kind of thing. So I think it's probably going to be perfect. Um, and I think it is. But that's because I love throwing myself in at the deep end, and that's very much what this has ended up being. So let me see if I've got anything on here that I can explain. Or if this is just okay, fair enough. So the basic idea is that instead, because originally I was thinking, all right, if I can do a foam outer with a fiberglass core for strength, then that was how I was going to approach it. this idea kind of just ended up being the inverse of that. So it's going to be an expanded foam inner with a fiberglass shell outer. And that opens up quite a lot in the way of possibility. So there's quite a lot that I can then do with that. Like tinting resin instead of painting things, and there are cool options and cool effects that I can make with this, basically. So that's kind of the basic premise for this, and that's what I'm going to be running with. So this is mostly just going to be me transferring info from one document to another one in more of a step-by-step kind of way that I can look into later and not get super overwhelmed with, because I'm very susceptible to that. So, definitely should have brought my mouse down with me, because this is going to be a majority PC affair. That super, super sweet dude. And it was super nice to meet him. And he's given me a whole bunch of info. So, let me just... So this is... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do to start with is a shopping list. Ha ha ha. So, I'm going to go through various bits and pieces. Might as well try and sit down for this, I think. Because I get the feeling I'm going to be here for a while. So, let's have a look. Shopping list. Right. So, what have I got? So, yep. So, ooh, interesting. Okay. Okay, so shopping list, and if I go, primary sites, and then off and go, try and get as much info onto here as possible. All trying to faff with the trackpad, which is not my favourite thing. Okay, well I don't actually need that if I've got that, because I can just read, which for me makes a lot more sense than just typing everything out again. Julio, that's awesome. How-to videos, dig into that. Why are you... Still, I enjoy that as a premise. That is epic and cool. Don't be doing that, though. What else we got? And then... Let's do... That's like a thing. It's getting loads of info like this is absolutely massive. Like, I'm obscenely grateful for everything in here, and it's crazy, crazy helpful. The only problem is I tend to look at stuff like that and get immediately stupidly overwhelmed by everything that's in there. So I then have to go through and kind of break it down and go, right, okay, what does this actually contain? What can I actually get hold of from this? So I'm literally just going through bit by bit and seeing what is on here and what I need to link to and find for myself, etc. So I'll start with what is directly referenced. So flat sheets for offset mold, got it. Okay. So this is all stuff that I promise will make sense later. I just okay. Fine. Yeah, this is all stuff that will make sense when I get down like the process stuff. For now, a lot of this is just going to be a whole heap of I'm sorry, what? But I promise it will eventually make sense with what I'm actually planning. But for now, you're just gonna have to trust me and trust that I've got a thing, I've got a plan. But it's gonna be a lot easier to explain once I have the info down. Parallel, I'm not really gonna do for that. This one is huge. This stuff is crazy useful. So jeez, these links, man. RE or ER, I don't like. I don't, because fiber is RE, but also that just feels better. Just gonna go ahead and do that. Let me move this out of the way. Oh, come on, trackpad. Don't do this to me. Good enough. Cool. Honey wax was a biggie as well. Does that link spread over to the next page? No. Okay, cool. Okay. I should have done this first. Well, you just chill there for a minute. It's fine. And this is mold release stuff. Why would you do that? Don't do that. Why? God damn it. Alright, fine. I'll just recopy it. What do I care? What do I care? I'm sure that's fine. I was literally talking to my nan this morning about like going overboard with stuff. And this is so proving the point. Like it doesn't matter, yet here I am still faffing with this stuff. Come on. So doesn't matter, but I'm just okay, alright. Just leave it. Leave it. Walk away. It literally doesn't matter. Trackpad, it definitely doesn't help, though. Definitely doesn't help. Formatting is a thing that bothers me, what can I say? Okay. That deals with that. Hex 7, that was huge. Again, I promise this will make sense eventually. For now, this will mean nothing, and that is completely fair. But there is a method to the madness, there is a plan. Please be the correct link. Yes. Awesome. Then I'll do new from dupe. And yes, that was a biggie. So the trouble is with stuff like this, like, I spent that few hours in this workshop, and it was awesome. It was so cool. But then the amount of info that I came away with was just like so, again, just overwhelming. That I've been sitting on this info for, geez, almost a week at this point, and I've just not known what to do with myself. I keep thinking about it and thinking, look, something is better than nothing, you know? So if I can at least try and organize this in my brain, then I have half a chance. And I want to try and keep the electronics separate to the fiberglassing, just for ease. Okay, this is super important. This is all super important. So maybe I just do that as a thing rather than... Okay, let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then, is this all knockouts? Yeah. Okay. Let's do... And this is going to be a bullet point thing. Don't do the italic, please. What did I just say? Right. And then this. Okay, good. It kept the formatting. That, and then also this. This. At least then I know what I'm doing with my life, at least a little bit. Let's do that. Let's do that so I know what I'm doing with it. Translucent pigments, something that I was kind of super interested in when we were browsing the sites. Standing foam, epic and cool. And then, okay, yeah, I need to send an email out faster and the function of it, which is fair. Don't do that. Or do I need to do that though? I don't. Good enough, good enough, good enough. Formatting doesn't matter, they're notes. Walk away, walk away. Okay. That should then be the main things and stuff. Right, let me go back through here. Cool, done that. LEDs, yeah, this will be the next bit. Yeah, okay. So, let's do A from dupe, and then LEDs. Bing, bada boom. Why have I got a text? Oh, okay. It's fine. I know what that is. It's fine. Okay. Let's do that. That. That one of those. That one of these. That one of those. Shimmy that along. Trackpad, I swear, going to give me an aneurysm. Okay. LED ribbon. Leo. I had a feeling you were going to do that. Ah, it's because I didn't actually do the thing either. That's still going to do it though. Cool, cool. Awesome. Whatevs. Okay. Grab that one of those. Don't know why I did that again instead of just copying the text box, because that would have been the smart thing to do. But no. Keep pressing the wrong button. That's fine. I choose to continue blaming the trackpad. Even if it's definitely just me being an idiot. Hey, at least I'm doing something, you know? I've got quite a lot of other stuff to do today as well, but I've got a few days off in a row, and I am determined to work more on this because it is bothering me. It always gets to the point that I'm kind of like stuck in this annoying sort of stasis where I'm super aware that there's a load of things I got to get done, but I can't actually will myself into action because there's so much to do and I just don't know where to start with any of it. So I just have to kind of shelf it and say, you know what, let me do something else for a bit and I'll come back to it. Today is the day I decided I would come back to it. But I'm still really struggling to quantify all this. That's fine. That's fine. I'll figure it out. Figure it out. Now I have a shopping list. And that. Let's get that one of these. So at least I know. That one of those. That one of those. And I think that's all of the links to stuff. And then there's just this obscenely wholesome additional email that he sent me after the fact. And I just thought I'd include it with all my notes because I think it's actually quite pertinent, and I need to remind myself about a lot of this on a fairly regular basis. So I'm gonna cover it here just because I agree with all of the sentiments. So being prepared to make mistakes, I am horrendous with this. I'm one of those people that if I don't get something straight away, I'm immediately done with it. Like I don't want to know, don't want to get involved. I just walk away. And I need to not be doing that for pretty obvious reasons. So that's important. I need to cool it and come back to things. And then taking the time to test stuff, I'm also very bad with that. I tend to jump straight in at the deep end, wing it, go, this will be fine. And okay, yeah, to an extent, the drunk kung fu aspect is pretty real. But with new processes and more advanced materials, it's so important to test stuff. So I that massively I need to I need to test things, and I need to work carefully, and I need to think things through. So yes, massively. Being patient, huge. I am not that. I am so not remotely patient. Okay. So I kind of am, but like I always want to rush into doing things, but once I'm in the thing, I can be in the thing forever. Like I can happily sit and sand stuff for days. That's fine. But I do definitely rush into projects and various. So that again, super poignant. Finding out what does and doesn't work, yeah, completely fair. And then not thinking too far ahead is the biggest thing for me because I get so overwhelmed when I'm looking at big projects. And if I just break it down into one stage at a time, it's much easier to quantify and it's much easier to handle. So that is absolutely friggin' huge. So yeah. So I'm keeping that as part of this. I won't copy it into here because I don't like it's not technically relevant, but it is definitely like relevant in general, you know? Get a drink real quick. My throat is dying. Ugh. Jeez. Jeez. The air in here is really dry. Which is weird because it's raining outside. But oh well, that's fine. Okay. So now I have a shopping list, which is one of the things I wanted to do today. So now I need to check my notes and see if I can write up something of a play-by-play. So here is a sketch that isn't going to make an awful lot of sense, but I'll try and explain kind of the general gist of things, assuming my throat doesn't keep dying and I have to go get a throat sweep. But the general gist of things is that I'll be making up a cross section of one of the blades. So this is really hard to explain without drawings and stuff. So basically, I'll be taking one of these blades and I'll be taking like the top half of it. So I'll be splitting it along the length, like along the side, right? And I'll just be making like the top slash bottom half, right? So this is a cross section of the blade as a whole. That line through the middle there separates like the top half and the bottom half. So the plan is to draw out just one of those halves, make that as a 3D element, and then make a mold of that 3D element, and then do the same thing for the other half, have it as a 2-part mold, fill it with stuff, and then bolt it together, etc. Right? So the thing that I found super interesting about this as an idea was how to make that initial half. So I was given a little demo in actually I can show the demo on the webcam. Ah, I'm a genius. Right. So I had like a mini demo explaining how this works. So hoping the camera's far enough away that I can get the whole thing in. I think I can. So, aha, here is the little demo. So this is just an MDF offcut. So this doesn't mean anything. The thing that does mean something is the curve to this. Because the blades have to cross over one another, there has to be clearance. So to map out that curve, what Nick ended up doing was taking some hardboard and screwing it in some MDF that was cut on a curve, right? Then the cross section of the sword, roughly, right? Because this was a demo. Sketched it out onto hardboard, and then he took some car body filler and started essentially sculpting on top of this drawing. And the way he did this was with what he'd call the sledge. So it's a little offcut as basically, you know how the blade comes to sort of a point up high, right? You can see it on there. Got a nice little ridge along that top bit. That's how he made this. So he literally whacked on a load of body filler, just kind of pasted it on, took this and then dragged it along, and that's how you get that even kind of slope on each side, which blew my mind. Like, it sounds like a small thing, but that for me was like huge because I had no idea how I was going to get an even kind of angle on both sides. But that's how you do it, is by sculpting essentially, and then just dragging this thing along. Awesome. So that's how this top part of the blade then gets made, right? So I have to do this in like life size, basically. And to do that, there are a lot of bits and pieces that go into it. So for starters, I need to make a CAD drawing of the whole sword to figure out, to scale, to figure out the curve that I need to be mapping all of this on, so that I know the clearance is definitely going to be okay for the blades when they're crossing over each other. That's something, that's stuff I've done before. I just haven't done it for a while. So that's going to be a refresher. And I need to try and look at what programs I can get that are free. Because Rhino is the ideal, but also it's expensive, so no. I need to see what I can manage, or if I can ask some friends if I can, you know, borrow their PCs or whatever, just to do this one drawing. Because there's no point in paying for a license for one project. Like, that's nuts. But yeah, so I need to do the CAD drawing so that I can figure out the angle, so that I can then make this, but in life size. So that's essentially phase one. It's a big phase one, but it's essentially phase one. Okay. I will say my throat is trying to kill me. So I may BRB real quick. Just to go grab a throat lozenge. Because not being able to talk is kinda not gonna be helpful. So bear with one sec, and I'll be back. Okay. Throat sweet acquired. But probably gonna sound a bit weird for a while, so bear with. Bang. So yeah. Basically, phase one. I need to make the notes for. So, do I do phase or do I do part? I think part is slightly less cringe. Let's whack that up there. Not so high. Again, formatting doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Right. So I need to think about how I'm going to phrase this. I also need to try and get vaguely comfortable sat on this bloody stool. So I apologise if you are offended by the socks and Crocs combo. But what can I say? It exists. So I don't like having that there. That bothers me. Let's just do what I was doing originally and have this down lower and with it like that. Okay. So I need to do the CAD drawing. To create basic basic blade drawing establish curvature / clearance blade drawing. Cool. On scale. Okay. Determine measurement S for clearance at the point the blades cross. Blades. Measurements at the point the blades cross. Coolio. So let's say I have that. After that, I'm going to say hardboard / MDF. I don't know whether hardboard is one word or not. It's fine. I'll find out later. There are things I need to add to the shopping list, in fairness. There are things I need to add to the shopping list. Let's take this real quick. And let's put in other / misc. Hardboard MDF CAD software. Just so I don't forget what I'm doing. It did remind me though, I never put down the paddle roller. Okay. Done that thing again where I didn't copy the text box. Also did. Okay. So let me shimmy this so that it's just not up in my biz. Stop. Bring that over as well. That down. Why? Go away. Trackpad, please. I beg you. Have mercy. No, idiot. Remember. Okay. And paddle roller. Like that. I'm not going to bother getting rid of the asterisk because that's the only thing that's going to keep the formatting the way I want it. I know how this goes. There we go. Right. And then I kind of want to swap these. Up there. Up there. Up there. And shimmy that a bit. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I just leave this here. I'm sure I'll remember. I so won't. That's fine. Actually, self-placed resin. Let's say polyester resin solvent cleaning. Not leaning, cleaning. That C's going to tip it over. Ugh. Okay, fine. Okay, so back to this. Back to this. Hardboard slash MDF. So, measurement. And then I suppose it'd be determine curvature required for transfer to MDF slash hardboard. No, I've got plaster already. That's fine. That's fine. Hardboard slash MDF. So that will then be cut MDF to established curve slash appropriate length. Well, it's not slash, it should be and. Really. It's not or. Appropriate length. Draw blade. Draw single, really. Draw single blade onto hardboard. I don't need to establish that, but I'm going to anyway. You know what? No, I can phrase that slightly better. Using the CAD drawing as a direct line there. Technically, this should be over here because this is the one that was drawn up in the workshop, and it gives me some idea, if nothing else. Using CAD drawing as guideline. Okay. Then so screw. Well, let's just say drill slash screw hardboard to MDF curve. Then I'm going to put a thing in here. I need 2 MDF blocks as scale up. It's a lot of space. The scaling up. Let's frame that as scaling up increases overall width. There. Okay. Let's take that. Put that in here. Right, that. There we go. Cool. Curve, awesome. Then plaster I actually already have on there, so that's fine. So mix up plaster. Well, do I do that or do I do the ledge first? Cool. I also need to create drawing of cross section ledge. One drawing of cross section sledge. Cool. Okay. Cool. Then use add cross. I was gonna say I hyphenated that, didn't I? I did. Add cross section to create a sledge wooden sledge. It needs to be pretty stiff because it's going to be plaster, so sledge. Okay. And that's it for that. That's the hardboard MDF side of things. So then plaster sculpt. At least I'm getting things straight in my head. There's not a lot that I'm going to be able to like actually physically make today, but I can order a bunch of materials. So that's fine. At least then I know what I'm working with. Sculpt, so mix up plaster and whack it onto the blade guideline. Oh, let's say the blade, the hardboard. Again, I don't know whether it's one word or not, so I'll do 2 for now. Following the board. Following the blade drawing. I'm gonna say blowing, blah blah blah, blowing, drawing, sketch. Let's do that. Hardboard, following the blade sketch. Use sledge to create uniform. You call that a bevel? I don't know. I don't think you do. I think bevels are more curved, right? let's call it slope. Yeah. I'm gonna say, because I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, so I'll do that. Okay. Maybe I help myself a little here. Just take it up a little. Okay, fine. Right, let me go through this real quick and double check that I've got everything correct so far. So, casual advantage, 1-to-1, yep. Clearance at the point they cross, yep. Curvature required for MDF, yep. And then the cross section, yep. And you have to establish curve for your length, mainly 2 blocks, because width, yep. Yep. CAD drawings, direct guide, yep. Curves, yep. Curve. /S, cool. Sledge, aha. Back onto the hardboard, following blade sketch, yep. Cool. Slopes along length. Cool. That is then that. So, let me peek at this. That's all we use for. Yep. 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 Okay. Useful. Okay, cool. Then, okay. This is the next bit that I need. So, then gonna be molding. Let's just call it that for now. So, it's let's do 2 coats of that, and then 2 coats of PVA. Please. I don't remember how this was put on. I think it's probably brushable, right? As it's probably like a cloth, right? Cloth it, probably. Sponge it, Coolio. Onto plaster. Right, can't spell. So, and then hardboard. Please behave. Right. And then that. Yeah. Cool. So that and that. And then what am I talking about here? Oh, yeah, no, I remember. Okay. Yeah. Then it is gonna be what is specified here. So then shell coat base layer, then 3 fly then did we establish this was going to be, because the paste was really cool, it's going to use a lot. Let me go over my notes again. So, materials. That's the thing. Elder bonders. I think that's for the finished article. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. This. Huge. Okay, so yeah, this is the mold making side of it. So let me just whack that in there. And then so base layer GC100 3-ply fiberglass. Up, and that is EF100 laminating resin. Trackpad, please. Okay, resin, blah blah blah. Okay. Resin plus 300 B SQM, so 300 gram per square meter, I assume. I use it in surface tissue and then vampire. Oh, interesting. Glass fiber mat. Now let me go get the sample that he gave me, because that does have a load of notes on the back. I have this. So yeah, 300 gram. Okay. So actually, let me double check you can see this, because this is pretty huge. So when I got there, he'd made this little sample for me. And as you can see with the white background, there are 3 different kinds of layers. So they're all pretty strong, but like this one just on its own, it's still not breaking, but it makes me nervous, right? This one, the second one, I think is probably going to be the best, because that doesn't want to go anywhere. And then this one with the 3, like, that is beyond solid. So this one does bend and bow, so I wouldn't do just 1. 2 is pretty tasty, to be honest. But as far as mold making, 3, sweet, that seems fine. Yeah, look at how cool this is. How neat is that? So again, testing stuff, huge, because this is obscenely useful as a reference. So, yeah, I remember. Awesome. Okay. Right. There. Then I'm gonna put that. I have no idea what I just did. Okay. let's do that. Right. So that is that. Beauty of this is that the blade itself doesn't have any particular detail. Because I hate myself, but not that much. Right? I gotta choose my battles here. So yes. So that is then the initial mold. Okay, hardboard, okay, the base layer, blah blah blah. Fiberglass on top. Game. Do that. And let's do this. Cool. Cool. Okay. So that is then a thing. So let's do molding part. Let's do molding I, and then molding I. So let's say, okay, base layer, 3-ply, blah blah blah. Don't do that. Leave to your then demold. Okay. Then part 2. This is the part that blew my mind when Nick explained it, right? So he'd asked me at the time, like, how are you gonna get? So you've got one half, right? How do you get the other half? And I just stared into oblivion because I had no idea. So he said, all you do is take the mold you've just created, which is so that the thick black line is the fiberglass, the little V in there is the gel coat. So you take the mold you just made, whack more plaster in there, and run the sledge along it again. And that blew my tiny mind. That is the biggest brain play. So yeah, that's what the part 2 is. So this will then be mix up more plaster and wax. Well, not yet actually. Technically it needs to be mold release onto gel coat. I don't know if it's one load or not, so I'm gonna not do that. Yeah, mold release onto gel coat, then mix up more plaster and whack it into the mold. Sledge again to create the second half of the blade. Then repeat steps. Repeat steps above. Repeat step from molding. I'll deal with that space in a second. I'll deal with it now, it's annoying me. There. Molding one. Well, actually, technically not, because it's slightly different. So actually, what I'm gonna do is take this out. How about demold once cured there? So then I can just have that. Because so substituting cardboard for fiberglass/gel coat. Gel coat /fiberglass. It's in there. Gel coat, yeah. Okay. That again. Then this is important. Wait until cured, because the next stage is important. So molding. Molding 3. Kind of. Unless I want to be smart and say once cured. Yeah. Maybe that's how I do this. Once cured, drill locator. Probably spelt that wrong. Oh well. Locator holes and bolt. Both. Locator holes. Bolt. Both. Mold shells together. Casting. I get away with please trackpad. No, pain. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll just bring this up even further. Good enough. Okay, cool. So, that. And then duplicate. Okay. I'm then gonna call that. Part 1. Or do I call this part 2? I think I call that part 2. I call this part 3. That's actually casting. one add and what would I call it? Something better than forms. Add and mm. I'm gonna leave it as that for now. Okay. Part 2 molding. Two. Okay. Part 3 casting the outer shell, and then part 4, I would say this will be the offset molding, and then duplicate part 5, be expanding foam core, and on that point it's gonna be LED strips and electronics core. Six, then part 7. Built. This is going to be. I'll just take some notes for now. Change that in a second. I'm going to need blue insulation foam. Blue insulation foam. Molding and casting as before. This time though, gonna be screwed together with. Now, I probably wrote this down somewhere. What did he call them? X7 is a thing. Standing foam core, Coolio, offset molding. Oh, let me go ahead and put in here. Excuse me. X7. So the blades can be opened. ETC. Epic. Yeah. So that's another thing. So there was a lot of consideration around, do I just glue this whole thing shut and that's that? Or do I want to be able to get in there to fix it if any of the LEDs are funky? And I decided I want to be able to get in there to fix it. So this was recommended as a means of sealing together the 2 blade halves per blade. So there'll be 4 halves in total. But it's basically, it's like sealing it with a silicon sealant, except it isn't silicon. It's also clear, so I can just run a knife along the blades to open them up if I need to and fix anything that's scuffed in there. So that's pretty huge. So that is in there. Offset molding, Epic. iPhone core, Coolio. Yep, LEDs, electronics, the hilt, installation foam, long customers for. Yes, that's what I was looking for. That was massive. M4 screws. They don't have a name. Okay. With M4 screws and the little spiked spiked threads. Given. So for reference, when I say the little spiked threads, what I'm talking about is there's a drawing in here I can reference as well, which is actually kind of useful. And there's this. Okay, right, I can explain quite a lot here. That's good. So, what I mean is, basically, when it comes to the hilt, I want to be able to get in to store all the electronics and stuff, right? And again, it's one of those I need to be able to fix things if they go wrong, yada yada. So, in the hilt, is close enough? I hope so. In the hilt, it'd be a case of having screws come down and through to hold it closed. And then there'll be these little sockets that are in little blocks of wood. Is that? Yeah, kind of. So these little spiked sockets will be in little blocks of wood that are literally just glued up inside this fiberglass hilt. And in fairness, I don't have to make the hilt on a curve. It could be fairly square. I'm yet to decide that, but premise is the same. Screwed through, and the little sockets are these things. Oops. These things. So, they've got little spikes on them, and that's how they end up kind of rooted into blocks of wood. And then they've got little threaded, nope, there we go, little threaded sockets that you can just screw things into. So that's the idea. And then the screw heads themselves, I can hide under some of the details that I've got on the hilt itself. So that's actually not too terrible. And yeah, the core, the plan for the core is to offset mold the shell. So like I'll make the outer shell for the blades first, and then stick basically some wax sheets in there that are a few mil thick, and use that as an offset. Then make another mold following the same process as I did for the shell, that I can then fill with expanding foam, and then it's offset by a few millimeters, which allows for the depth of the LED strips, and then they're just whacked on around that expanding foam, and then that slides within the shell. And yeah, that's then the core of it, and that then keeps the LEDs from flapping about all over the place. And that is the premise, which is, you know, pretty cool, pretty sensible. And also within my bag of tricks, I found the mold from the demo. So if I refer back to this was the premise, right? So when I do it, it won't be car body filler, it'll be plaster. But the same sort of premise, whack some stuff on there, mold release it, and then this was the little fiberglass mold that actually ended up being made from this. So this was just pasted on top. This was the fiberglass paste. I think it was that way around. Yeah. Just like, it was literally just a paste that's got glass fiber already in there. So you just mix it with the activator, and then, you know, that's that. You get like a little solid mold thing. And then it's worth noting that, I don't know how well you can see, but there are imperfections in the surface of this. Oh well. You can literally just fill it with more paste after the fact and smooth it off. You can sand it if you want. Like, you can make this as smooth as you like after the fact, which is pretty cool. But if I'm making this bit out of plaster anyway, I'll probably wait for the plaster to cure and then smooth off the plaster because it's way softer, you know. So I'll just be obscenely careful with that. But if there are any bubbles or anything that end up happening, I can fix those retroactively. So that's pretty epic, pretty useful. So that is the plan with that. Okay. I'm going to call those sockets little spiked sockets. I don't need to add in this. It is not useful information. Current. Also don't need any of these. That. So I don't know why I kept them. But oh well. There are 40 slides. Oh my god. Okay. That's fine. Part 1, part 2. I'm gonna get rid of that because I don't need it. I will, however, need this. Don't need this for that. Although, frame of reference is useful. Yeah. Well, I could also actually take some photos of the other drawings and add those. Got some pictures from this as well. That would be sensible. So I'll just leave it around for now, because it's going to come in handy. So I'll leave it around, I'll deal with it later. Okay. So, in the spirit of not getting too far ahead of myself and freaking out, I'm going to leave it with only focusing on parts 1 and 2 for now. Those are going to be my priorities for the time being. To which end, I need to determine what I need for those. And in order to do so, I am going to take this and make some notes. Material requirements, or just requirements. That's fine. And then make it smaller. Requirements, and it's going to be add software. Okay. Add stuff. And cardboard, MDF, and fairly. So let's just call it sledge wood, because it needs to be fairly solid, so I can drag it through some stuff. What else? Drill / screws. Doesn't seem like it's even, which I don't enjoy a whole bunch. Apparently it is. Whatever you say. So, what else? I just read it through. MDF, Coolio. I don't think I'm going to include a pencil in this. I've got pencils. Then plaster. I'm also going to need. Well, I mean, if that's all it is for this section, in fairness, kinda don't need to do a whole bunch more than that. So I will just go here and do that. Why? For what reason? Oh my god, trackpad. Alright. Fine. Fine. Then get rid of this, because I don't need it anymore. And then sources. Sources. This is where I should start labeling stuff, because I have my shopping list, which is epic and cool, but I need to know what corresponds to what part. So what I'm probably going to do is start labeling things. So let's do that. Except for a bunch of stuff that I don't have labeled, like this. Cool. Okay. So how am I going to quantify this? Maybe... I kind of just want to stick shapes next to everything. That's kind of what I want to do. Just feel like it's going to make my life slightly easier to do so. Okay, great. Well, then there are a million shapes that I can choose from. Doesn't mean that I should use them. Okay, let's start. Or do I do it as symbols so I can whack them in at the end somewhere? I'm pretty sure that's not the molding stuff. This is the molding stuff. So let's go symbols, geometric shapes, epic. Throat is dying again, whatever. Let's call this. I don't really want to do directional arrows because that's going to get weird and confusing. Let's make a little diamond for now. And then I will just use that for the other mold stuff, which is also this. Let's do that, let's do that. Fiberglass mat is this. Expanding foam, not yet. This will come under that. So let's put that next to that. This is a thing I'm going to need for the second part, so let's ignore that for now. I still need to, yeah, so that's one, that's one, that's one. That is kind of misc, so I'm just going to leave that. Then what else? What else? No, trackpad, please. Forces. Let's do a little diamond. Yeah, faster. Did I put that in the somewhere? No, here. That's why. Cool. Okay. So I then know everything marked with a little diamond is a thing. And let's make it a different color. So I hope this makes it a different color. What do I want to do for this? Can I do blue? I can. Okay. Let's do little blue diamonds. Or this. Hindsight, if I'd colored it first, I could have just copied it and everything would be fine. Oh well. Whatever. Main thing is I'm organizing it in my head, so I have half an idea around what I'm doing with my life. Only half, though. Only half. Don't technically have any of that yet. Blah, 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 blah. Smackety yakety. And then that. Okay. Cool. That seems pretty sensible. Okay. So I think I kind of need to put tools separately, right? Do tools. I'm going to need drill / screws, saw, Dremel is a maybe. Oof. Dremel is potential. Pencil / pen or whatever. Sponge, cloth, or paddle roller. It's the important one. Sources. Blue diamond, which I can just copy. This paddle roller is written down somewhere. No, I already did it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, I already did it. But I don't need that for this bit. I need these for the next bit. So let's copy that. Go here. Make requirements, copy, paste. Because I don't need that, don't need that. But I know myself well enough to know I'd forget otherwise. So that means that the paddle roller is not a blue diamond. I'm getting ahead of myself, which is fine. These are also not blue diamonds, because they are for the next part too. Master hardboard MDF CAD. It's literally all I need. Literally all I need. Yeah, fine. Let's call it a plaster container. No, somewhere to mix stuff, basically. And then some kind of plaster, spatula, or similar. Sources marked with a blue diamond. Coolio. Okay, you just give me that over. I feel slightly better about it. Right. That's all I need for this. That's fine. All I need for this, that's fine. I just need to ask around about CAD software. Just no biggie, to be honest. That is no biggie. That gives me something I can be working on. This is a different kettle. Let me just do that. Get rid of that. No, instead. So for this, I will need different things and stuff. Paddle roller. And then instead of a blue diamond, I'm going to make this. More symbols. I'm going to make this. You know what? Sure. I don't want you to be italicized, though. That's upsetting. There we go. I'm going to make you green. Is that too dark? It's kind of a little too broccoli-esque for my liking. Let's not make it like that. Do that. No, I don't like that either. For God's sake. Right. It's back to that whole does this really matter thing. No, it doesn't. There we go, good enough. Right. So, what do I need for this? Step by step. I need honey wax. I need PVA mold release. I need shell coat. I need fiberglass mat. Glass mat and and then everything from before, technically. So plaster. So if I do this step by step, roller, all that. Need mixing cups, scales, Breathing sticks. Respirator. Goggles. Let's go ahead and move this up a tad. Respirator, goggles. Gloves. Safety is important. PPE matters. I want to be able to do this nonsense for as long as humanly possible, and that means being safe with it. Respirator, goggles, gloves. Brushes. Brush. Cleaner. The roller is for the fiberglass itself. Let's say fiberglass tray, because I already have a tray I've wrecked from fiberglassing stuff, so I'll just use that one again. Normally, blah blah blah. So that would then be cloth / sponge. There's a lot of stuff here. Cloth / sponge, Coolio. Yeah. Then that, cool. Metal plaster. So then we are going to say, do I put the sledge in there? Let's say plaster / sledge. I don't want to put it down as tools because for me that is part of the requirement. So then repeat the same. Then it's going to be drill and bolt / nuts. Cool. Okay. Nice. So that should be that. Did I put those? Yeah, okay. Horses, that, and also a little bit of blue diamond. A little bit of blue diamond. But then, no, I don't need to. I just put the plaster as part of this as well. Okay. So for this, I need offset mold. No, yes. That. Roller is one of these also. This is one of those. Fiberglass mat, yes. Gel coat also, yes. This also, yes. Cool. And this. That. Okay. What else? Yeah, gel coat, fiberglass mat, and then plaster, technically, it's that. Coolio. And that's all electronics anyway. Epic and cool. Alright. And then I think I already did that. Cool. That. Yeah, need to get a bunch of this going. Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going? I was about to say you're up early, but actually, it's not as early as I thought it was. Just woke up. Yep, fair cop. That is beyond fair. I've been awake for a while, predictably, but I'm off today, so I wanted to get some stuff done. So, yeah. I hope you've got some nice things planned today. Going to see Granny? Epic. Epic and cool. You you make the best of that. And keep me posted. Just in general, you know. LEDs I'm going to do separately. That's whatever. Back at work on Monday. Are you sure? That seems real, real soon. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Has anyone told you that the new pattern starts from next month? Yeah, needing the money is fair. Needing the money is super fair. Yes, good. Okay. That's all right then. That's all right. It literally just occurred to me that you've not been around to contend with the fun and games around that. So, cool. As long as you know, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. And don't mind me. I'm still organizing things. Dan sent it. Cool. Okay. Cool. Nice. Yeah, that checks out then. Epic. Epic and cool. It's nice when things line up. I had a bunch of holiday that I had to use before the new tax year, so room shenanigans. Okay, so here's the thing with that, right? It's mostly done. I just have to hang some pictures and stuff, and then it's pretty much there. Um, it's very much one of those like I got a few finishing touches to sort out, and then I'm cool with it. So yeah, yeah. No, it's decent. It's definitely decent. I just have to get a few bits and pieces, and then I can draw a line under it. But at least I'm not living in a building site now, because that was driving me mental. My bed was in the middle of the room for like a week. Hated it. Could not sleep. I have to be against a wall. Yeah, right. It was awful. So lame. For the first like couple of days, it was novel, and it was upsetting, but it was like, yeah, this is new. Okay. After that, it was just nah, hate, hate everything. But I'll update everyone on that at some point. Fitted cupboards, yeah, ugh. So the room I'm in used to have fitted cupboards, um, a very long time ago. So there's like this wooden border around part of where the cupboards used to be, and so that was part of what took me so long with my room, was they were painted like with thick layers of white gloss paint. So I had to strip all of that off and then stain the wood so it actually fit with the aesthetic. And that took ages because it's kind of hard to get a belt sander in up high and around various places. So it was a lot of doing stuff by hand, and it just sucked. Sucked so much. Lovely, yeah. Oh no, it looks great now, but getting to that point just sucked. Sucked so much. But yeah, I've actually I was faffing with some of this, and then I've got bedroom things that I'm going to be messing around with this morning. Yeah, no, it was again holding a belt sander above your head is really sketch. Because it's, okay, cool. The thing I've got is a handheld thing, but it's a big handheld thing and it's a heavy handheld thing. So, yeah, just yeah, yeah, pretty much. It was just kind of sketch, you know. And then obviously I got covered in dust, and everything in my room got covered in dust, and I had not planned ahead as per. So I then spent ages having to clean all the dust off of everything, and but it's fine. Everything is fine. It all looks good. I just have to deal with a few finishing touches today, and then I need to go to work this afternoon because they're doing like you know how they do like the medical van that pulls up and you get like the free health assessment thing. The only days they could do were days that I am not here. So, well, there I should say. So I said like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll just make the trip in, whatever." And then they changed the time. So I'm like, damn it! But it actually might work out better because it's then in the afternoon. So that's cool. So I just wanted to get down a couple of steps on here that I can be following, and yeah, then do some stuff with my room, and then go deal with the medical this afternoon because I've got a few days off. I'm not back in until actually Monday. So yeah, had more holiday to use, so I did. So I've got a few days to work on some stuff. Eye test, ugh, jeez. Hey, Monday gang, Monday gang. New glasses, bruh. That is, I understand the concerns around expense. The smiley face always looks like that. That's always been a thing. I've got like channel emotes that I made. I just don't remember what the things are for them. And I have no idea how to like access them actually in the chat. But they exist. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It is very mime-esque. Oh yeah, and ignore the bot. I will eventually be setting up background music, but I need to figure out how to do all the credits properly so I'm not, upsetting anyone by using their stuff without crediting them the way that they've specified. So for now, it's not a thing, but it will be eventually. And I've been saying it since I actually started streaming stuff, but I do mean it. At some point, that will be a thing. It also don't mind the bot. It's right. There's more than one bot. I will figure out how they work. Um. Oh, cool. Okay, that's useful. That's super useful. Yeah. Because I only really had like a cursory look into free stuff that I can use for streams and what have you. So, lo-fi, yeah, good. Lo-fi is good. Lo-fi and like synthwave are always good things. So, huge to be honest. As I say, it's on my to-do list. I'll get around to it. But cool. Fair play. I also need to organize all the stuff I've got in here. It's a mess at the minute. But to be honest, I'm probably gonna call it, because it's been a couple hours, I'm probably gonna call it for now on this specifically, and then might come back later with other bits and pieces, but it's gonna be mostly ordering stuff and then waiting for it to get here and sourcing things and, stuff like that, none of which is particularly interesting. So, yeah, probably do a bunch of that off cam, and then any other things I get up to today, if it's shenanigan inclined, then yeah, literally, that's what I'm thinking, right? Is I'm so conscious of accidentally doxing myself or giving out any personal info, like, because I know what I'm like, and I will forget. So, like, with all the Twitch stuff, I set up whole new accounts for literally everything because I'm so self-conscious. Yeah, yeah, no, I do not blame you, for sure. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna call it there, and then I might be back later with something, but it depends. It depends what I end up doing, and it depends how busy I am. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, good morning, and hope you have a decent day, and yeah, keep me posted on various. And I'll catch you around at some point, and if not before Monday, then definitely Monday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no worries, no worries. There'll be bits and pieces. As I say, it mostly depends on sourcing stuff at the minute. But yeah, that's fine, and that's a thing that I can faff with off cam, and then yeah, anything interesting, I will whack a webcam on it. So yeah, if nothing else, catch you Monday, and cool. Enjoy your day, and I shall endeavour to enjoy mine. And I'll catch you in a bit.